Hi everybody! So today we're going to make this little bear, and I'm going to be making mine exactly like this one today. So this is what she's going to look like, and these are the supplies that I'm going to be using. So I really do hope you enjoy, and let's get started. Round one of the arms, I'm going to show you to do one, and then you're going to pause the video to make another. We are going to do 7 single crochets in the magic ring. So I am using the brown color or the caramel color. You're going to take your first band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to pull the 7 bands through one at a time. On your hook, bring your loop over and bring it to the side. Back in. On your hook, and now bring the 2 loops over and bring it to the side. Go back in, bring your 2 loops over, and just continue. You can add your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook and remove off the loom. I'm going to move my bands around so that they're nice and even, and you should have 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is on your hook. For rounds 2 to rounds 8, we're just going to do 7 single crochets, so 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way around. When I change color, I'm going to do a slip knot or a slip stitch, same thing, when I change the colors. Your last band, you're going to do a slip knot to tie closed. So I'm going to do rounds 2, 3, and 4 with you to show you when I change color, and then you're going to pause the video to complete the rest. So I'm going to go on my first chain, and I'm going to bring 1 band through. So I'm using a light pink. I'm going to bring this through all of the chains that are on my hook just because I'm changing color and I want even rounds when they're done. So my next chain, 1 band, I'm just going to pull through the chain and on my hook and slide. Continue around until you get to the stitch marker. You can remove the stitch marker. If you've counted out your bands, or you can keep count in your head, you really don't need the stitch marker. Now when you're changing, because I changed color, you're going to see that first little slip knot. You don't go through that. You're going to go through your chain. So going in my first one, I'm going to start round 3, bringing 1 band in each chain. So I'm using the light color pink again. The next chain, just go around until you get to the stitch marker. You can remove the stitch marker, add it to your band that's around your hook, and continue. I'm going to continue, but I don't want to use the C-clip. It pulls the bands too much. So I'm going to go on my first chain, and I'm going to change color to the white, so I'm going to bring it through all of the bands. Grab the end and slide. Now just continue around I'm not going to be stuffing the arms. They really don't need to have stuffing inside. So you're going to pause the video now and complete the rest of the rounds. I do suggest doing a slip stitch when you're changing the color, and don't forget to do the slip knot when you're done with the last band. So after you've completed the rounds for the arms, this is what you should have. I'm going to add 2 sewing bands now. So you're going to need 2 bands per arm. I'm going to fold this in half, and I want to do a slip knot to the stitches in the center and at the side. So put it together, and you're going to find your 2 stitches on either side, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and bring your band through and do a slip knot. And this is what we're going to use to sew it onto the body. Now you're going to do one on the side so it's even with this one. So just grabbing right on the side, 2 stitches, bring your band through and do a slip knot. And this is what the arm looks like. For round 1 of the legs, we're going to do 5 single crochets in the magic ring. I'm going to show you how to do one, and then you're going to pause the video to make another one. You're going to take your first band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. With your hook, you're going to reach in, bring your first band through, as if you're doing a slip knot, on your hook, and bring your band over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band, bring through, on your hook, and 2 loops over. Bring it to the side. Back in, 2 loops over, and just continue. I'm going to add my stitch marker to the band that's around my hook and remove it off the loom. Now I'm going to move my bands around, making sure that all the stitches are nice and even. And you should have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is on your hook. For round 2, we're going to increase on every stitch. So that means adding 2 bands to each chain around. At the end of round 2, you're going to have 10 stitches. So I'm going to go on my first chain, and I'm going to bring 2 bands through, one at a time. Back in for your second band, and repeat the next chain with 2 bands. Back in, and continue this pattern all the way till you hit your stitch marker. So you should have 10 stitches. You want to remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. Round 3 of the foot, what we're going to do is increase this round to 15 stitches. So we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1, 1, 1, and then 5 increases. So you're going to add 2 bands in the next 5 chains, and then a single band in the last 2 chains. So let's do the first row here now. We're going to go in the first chain and add 1 band. Chain 2 with 1 band. And then chain 3 with 1 band. Now the next 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to add 2 bands in each chain, one at a time. back in, and again. Back in, and again the next chain, back in, so now you have 2 chains left. You want to add 1 band in each chain. Give it a little stretch out. You should have 15 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 4, we're just going to do 15 single crochets, so adding 1 band, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. At the end of round 4, you're going to have 15 stitches. But for this round, I'm only going to grab the inside loop. So only grabbing the first loop, not going through the whole chain. Just grabbing the first, the one closest to you. And you're going to bring a band through. You're going to do that to every chain around, just grabbing the one loop on that chain. We're going to create a base, so this will start to build on the shoe. Continue all the way till you get to your stitch marker. Just grabbing the one loop. You should have 15 stitches. Remove your stitch marker, add it to the band that's around your hook, and this is what you should have. For round 5 of the leg, we are just going to do 15 single crochets, so adding 1 band, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. This round, I'm going to go through the whole chain, so the front loop plus the back loop, and just crochet normally. You're going to bring 1 band through. The next chain with 1 band, and just continue the same thing until all the way around until you get to the stitch marker. At the end of this round, you should have 15 stitches. Remove your stitch marker, add it to the band that's around your hook, and this is what you should have. Round 6, again we're going to do 15 single crochets around, so adding one band, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Except this time I'm going to do a reverse stitch. So I'm holding this like this. All I'm going to do is turn it around. So I'm going to be adding my stitches backwards. So again, I was like this. Now I'm just turning it around. So where I started is now facing towards me in the back, as you can see. Now I'm going to bring my first band through my first chain. My first chain is not where my band is coming out of. This is my first chain, the stitch over, the chain over. So don't go in where your band is coming out. You're going to skip and you're going to go through just like this. And you're going to bring your band through. And continue all the way around. You're adding 15 bands, so at the end of this round you will have 15 stitches. It's a bit tricky sewing the opposite way. When you get to your last visible stitch, and then you come here, and this is where your stitch marker is. Your last band, you want to go directly below your stitch marker. So it kind of looks like we're bouncing over a couple of stitches, but we're not. We're going right where our stitch marker is and adding our last band. Now I'm going to remove my stitch marker, add it to the band that's around my hook, and I'm going to turn the foot again. So I'm going to go back to how we always crochet. So I just turned. I was here, and now I'm going to go this way. For round 7, I'm going to continue using the white color, our last round with the white. This is my pattern. So right now I have 15 stitches. So I'm going to start off the pattern with 3 single crochets. So 1, 1, 1. Then I'm going to take 4 and 5 and stitch together, 6 and 7 stitch together, 8 and 9 stitch together, and 10 and 11 stitch together, and 12 and 13 stitch together. And then one band in the last 2 chains. So let's just go with the first 3 stitches. I'm going to add 1 band. So I'm going to go in my first chain, not the chain where it's getting pulled, and I'm going to add 1 band. Chain 2 with 1. Chain 3 with 1 band. Now 4 and 5 and stitch together. 4 and 5 and stitch together. Six and 7 and stitch together. 6 and 7. 8 and 9 stitch together. 10 and 11 stitch together. 12, and 13, stitch together. Now you have 2 chains left. You'll see 1 visible chain and then where your stitch marker is. So 1 and your stitch marker. You're going to add 1 band in your second last chain, and then you're going to move on over to where your stitch marker is. 1 band. So you should have 10 stitches, and remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. Round 8 of the leg, I'm going to change color and I'm going to use the purple. Because I'm changing color, I am going to start off with a slip stitch, and we'll get to that in 1 second. All you're doing is adding 1 band to each chain around. 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. At the end of round 8, you're going to have 10 stitches. So we're just doing 10 single crochets. Going in my first chain, I'm going to bring my first band through all of the loops that are on my hook. Grab the end and slide. Don't pull too hard. Moving on to the next chain, just with 1 band. Next chain. At the end of this round, we're going to add some stuffing to the shoe area. Remove your stitch marker. You can add it to the band that's around your hook, and you want to grab a little bit of stuffing. You don't want too much. You really don't need that much in this area. I'm going to move my band up here on the hook and just open it up and put some in. You just want the form of it. You don't want it too big. And then after, we're just going to add a little bit more to the leg area. And that should be okay. For round 9, we're going to do 4 single crochets, 1 decrease, and then 4 single crochets. So let's do the first 4 chains with 1 band. So you're going to go 1, 1, 1, and 1. Now we're going to take chains 5 and 6 and stitch together. 5 and 6 and stitch together. Now you have 4 chains left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and add 1 band to each chain. You should have 9 stitches. Remove your stitch marker, add it to the band that's around your hook. For rounds 10, 11, 12, and 13, we're going to do 9 single crochets for each of the rounds. So that's adding 1 band, 1, 1, 1, to each chain around. Each of my piles has 9 bands. Your last band, you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. So your last band, you're going to bring through all of the loops that are around your hook and tie it off. That's your last. Then we're going to add a little bit of stuffing to the leg. So I'm going to go in my first chain and I'm going to do round 10 with you, and then you're going to pause the video to complete the rest of the rounds. You can remove your stitch marker. You can pause the video and come back to me when you're done. Now that you've completed both of the legs, what you're going to do is add just a little bit of stuffing to fill in this area. If you find that this part is hard from too much stuffing, you can pull some up with your hook and just bring the stuffing up. I'm going to use a pencil to help me push this in if I need to. You just want to be careful you don't overstuff it. And that it's not stretched out. And all these little pieces that are sticking out, you can just push them in easily with a pencil or the back of a pen. For round 1 of the body, we are going to attach the legs together. So directly like this. On each leg, you have 9 stitches going around. So right here, I have 18 bands. That's how many bands you're going to use to sew the legs together. Now I used this little pattern. This is how I'm going to lay it out. And each one of the bands is a stitch on the legs. Each stitch around, you're going to bring 1 band through. So I think this is the best way to explain it that I can think of right now. When you put your legs together, you might have your slip knots in different spots than I do. It depends on how you crochet. If you're tighter than I am, if you're looser than I am, how much stuffing you have. So please don't follow me where my slip knots are. It doesn't matter. So what I'm going to ask you to do is kind of just go in and bring your slip knots through and hide them just coming out. So it doesn't matter where they are. On each side of the slip knot is a chain. So now what you're going to do is I'm going to do these 2 stitches, 1 and 2. If you put the legs together, you're going to find a stitch, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. You're going to stitch those together. So I'm going to put them together and I'm going to go from one side to the other, and I'm going to bring a band through. I didn't hide my slip knot very good. I'm going to get another hook and bring my slip knot through again. Now you're going to bring 1 band through, and that's going to go from one chain to the next. Grab the end and slide. Now you're going to grab your next chain in the center of the legs, so we are just in between. And you're going to bring your next band through. Just the chains on your hook and slide. Now we're going to do 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we're going to stop. So you're going to open up the leg and you're going to clearly see your next stitch. So it's right by where your band is being pulled, and you're going to go from the center of the leg out, and you're going to bring your next band here. So you can see where I am. I used 1 and 2, and now I'm here. And bring a band through your chain, on your hook, and slide. So now my next stitch, which is here, I'm going to bring my band through the chain, I keep calling it a stitch, and sliding. My next one, band through the chain, on your hook, and slide. The next stitch, you're about here, bring it through, never mind my slip knot, and slide. The next chain, the next, the next, and that's where I said to stop. I'm going to need to turn my legs to properly sew this for you, but just so you can see, now I'm going to do the other leg. So this is the other side. So in the center, it's stuck together, but you want to make sure that you're getting your little chain here in the center and adding your next band. So now you're just going to continue going around. So if I was to turn this back, you can see now I'm at the edge, and that's this band. I have too much stuffing in this one leg. The next one. And the very last one is your last stitch. So you're going to need a stitch marker, and you want to attach it to the band that's around your hook. I think I'm just going to remove a little bit of this stuffing. So you should have 18 stitches because we used 18 bands. For round 2 of the body, we're going to increase on every third stitch. So the pattern is 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. You're going to repeat this pattern 6 times. At the end of round 2, you will have 24 stitches. So now, we're going to go in our first chain, which is right in the center. And we're going to bring one band through. So it's in the center at the side, not in the middle of the legs. Bring one band through. Your next chain, right at the top, bring your next band through. And your third chain, you're going to bring 2 bands, one at a time. Back in. And you're going to repeat 1, 1, 2. and again, 1, 1, 2. And again. And again, 1, 1, and 2. Go back in that same chain for your second band, and you're going to repeat this one more time. 1, 1, 2. Back in. So you should have 24 stitches. My legs are nice and straight, and you can remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 3, we're just going to do 24 single crochets. So that means adding one band to each chain around. So 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. At the end of round 3, you'll have 24 stitches. So you can see I have 24 bands. So we're going to go in our first chain, not where your band is being pulled. You want to make sure that you get right into the next little chain. So that's this one. You're going to bring a band through your chain on your hook and slide. So just adding one band, 1, 1, 1, until you get to the stitch marker. And the last one. You should have 24 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and attach it to the band that's around your hook. For round 4, we're going to do 24 single crochets again, but we are going to grab the back loop only on each chain around. So again, you'll have 24 stitches when you're done. So when I go in, I'm only going to go in the center of the chain to grab the back loop. Do not go like this. Do not go through your chain. You're going to go through the center of your chain and just grabbing the one that's on the outside, the one furthest from you. And you're going to bring one band through on your hook and slide. Go back in, grab your band, bring it through, and slide. That's what you're going to do to each chain around until you get to the stitch marker. This will be the last round of the purple that I'll be using. I'll be switching to the pink next. Once you're done, you can remove the stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. I'm switching to my pink color and I'm going to do 24 single crochets around, but I'm going to grab the inside loop only just for this round. So I'm going to go for my first chain and just grabbing the chain that's closest to you in the center of the body. You can see I didn't go through both, I just grabbed the first one. Because I'm changing color, I am going to start off with a slip stitch, so bringing it through all of the bands that are on my hook, grabbing the end and sliding. Don't pull, just very gently. Now going around, grabbing just the inside chain only. You want to do this until you get to the stitch marker. So at the end of this round, you will have 24 stitches. So you can remove your stitch marker. For round 6, I'm going to change color to white, and you're going to do 24 single crochets, so adding 1 band to each chain. I'm going to do part of this with you. I don't feel like I need to do the whole thing. So I'm going to go on my first chain with 1 band and do a slip knot or a slip stitch to change the color. Here you have your little knot from before, so make sure you don't go in there. You want to go in your chain and grab the whole chain there and bring 1 band through all of the bands that are on your hook and grab the end and just continue around, adding 1 band. So you can continue going all the way until you get to your stitch marker. Please pause the video. For round 7, this is the pattern. We're going to decrease this to 22 stitches. So you're going to take 1 and 2 and stitch together. And then you're going to do 20 single crochets and stitch 23 and 24 together. So your first 2 are together and your last 2 are together. So let's take chains 1 and 2 and stitch together. Now you're going to take 20 bands and you're going to add 1 band to the next 20 chains. The last 2 stitches you're going to stitch together. So now I have the 2 chains left. These are 2 I'm going to stitch together. Bring my band through. On my hook and side. Round 8, you're going to change color again. So you're going to start off with a slip stitch. We're going to do 22 single crochets. So adding 1 band, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. I'm going to do part of this and then I'll tell you, I'm going to do 5 stitches and then you're going to pause the video to complete the rest. So I didn't move my stitch marker. I'm going to add it, my first band in my first chain, not where it's getting pulled. I'm going to bring my band through all of the stitches on my hook and side. Continue. So just continue around pause the video and come back to me when you're done. For round 9, we are going to do 18 single crochets. You're going to stitch 19 and 20 together and 21 and 22 together. So that would be 19 and 20 you're going to stitch together, and then 21 and 22 you're going to stitch together. So let's go ahead and make 18 single crochets. So one band in the first 18 stitches. Just adding one band to the first 18 stitches. So now I have 4 chains left. We're going to take chains 19 and 20 and stitch together. And now the last 2 you want to stitch together. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. So you should have 20 stitches. For rounds 10 and 11, you're just going to do 20 single crochets, so adding one band, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. I'm going to do part of round 10 with you, and then you're going to pause the video to complete it. So I'm going to go on my first chain, and I'm going to bring my band through. I'm changing color to white, so I'm going to bring it through all of the bands. And just continue around until you get to the stitch marker. I think you can pause the video now and complete it. For round 12, we're going to decrease this round to 15 stitches. This is our second last round. The pattern is 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times. So we're changing color. So in your first chain, bring your first band through all of the loops, grabbing the end and sliding. Moving on to the next chain with one band. And 3 and 4 and stitch together. Repeat. 1, 1, 3 and 4 and stitch together. So just continue this pattern until you get to the stitch marker. remove the stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. Round 13 of the body, continuing with the light color pink, I'm going to do 15 single crochets, so adding one band, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. With our last band, we're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. After that, we're going to be adding some stuffing to fill it. So I'm going to go in my first chain, knot the little slip knot, and adding one band. The next chain with one. And then just continue until you get to the stitch marker. Remembering that the last band is a slip knot. And the last one, you're going to bring through all of the bands, grab the end, and tie off. Remove your stitch marker, and then grab some stuffing, and make sure that you don't overstuff. So you might want to just put a little bit at a time. I'm going to try to get in the leg area as best as I can. But you don't want the stuffing to show through. So just key, don't overstuff. I have a little bit of an empty room here, so I'm going to try to add a little bit more. And I'm going to roll. Anything is really coming out, that's what you want to remove. So I still have a little bit of empty space in here. Now I probably overdid it. Let me try. So best is to roll, and whatever's coming out, you know to remove. And that's probably good.